In this video, we are going to make a single seller's demand table. So the demand table consists of the product price and quantity demanded. Suppose market price is $131. Now recall from the previous lecture that the single seller is going to take the price as given by the market. He will use the market price. He cannot charge his own price. So whatever is the market price, he is going to use that price to sell his product. So in this case, the market price is 131. So he is going to use this price, and we can fill this column by writing 131. So the price is 131, and this price stays the same for all the different levels of quantity demanded. So the single seller takes the price as given by the market, and at this market price, he can produce as much as he wants. He can produce 1 unit, he can produce 6 units, or he can produce 8 units. He has no control over the price. He's a price taker, but he can change his output level. So our next task is to construct a revenue data for the single seller. Over here, we have got three we have got three measures of revenue. Number one is the total revenue. So total revenue is price multiplied by quantity sold. So quantity sold is the units of the units of a product that is sold by the seller, and price is the price of the product. So this will give us the total revenue of the single seller. The marginal revenue is marginal means change, and marginal revenue is the change in total revenue when you sell one more unit of a product. So the formula for marginal revenue is a change in total revenue when there is a change in quantity sold. The last measure is the average revenue. Average revenue is the total revenue per unit. So it is total revenue divided by quantity sold. So over here we have the single seller's demand table, and then we have the single seller's revenue data. We take the price, the product price as given by the market, So the market price is 131, and the single seller is going to use this, and the single seller is going to use this price. Okay, so the market price is 131. This is the quantity demanded. The seller can produce as much as he wants. And this is the total revenue. Total revenue is price multiplied by quantity sold. So over here, for example, when the quantity demanded is 1, the product price is 131. So we multiply the product price by quantity demanded to get total revenue of 131. When the quantity demanded is 131, when the quantity demanded is 2, the price is 131. So we multiply quantity demanded with price, and we get a total revenue of 262. When quantity demanded is 3, the price is 131. So we multiply price with quantity demanded to get a total revenue of 393, and so on. So now we are going to we are going to calculate the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is actually the marginal revenue is actually the change in total revenue. It is the change in total revenue when there is a change in quantity sold. So, or you can also say that when you increase the quantity by 1 unit, what is the change in total revenue? So, for example, over here, I increase the quantity demanded from 0 to 1. So, my change in quantity is 1. And my change in total revenue is 131 minus 0. So my marginal revenue will be 131 divided by 1. Okay. Now another example, when you increase the quantity demanded from 1 to 2, my change in quantity will be 1. The change in total revenue will be 131 to 262. So the change is 262 minus 131, and the answer is 131. So you get 131 divided by 1. So when I increase my quantity demanded from 2 to 3 units, the change in quantity is 1. And the change in total revenue is 262 to 393. So I will subtract 393 from 262 to get the change in total revenue. In this case, the change in total revenue is also 131. So it is 131, the change in total revenue divided by the change in quantity, which is 1. So when you have done all the calculations, you will notice that the marginal revenue stays the same, which is 131. Okay. Now we have the average revenue. The formula for average revenue is total revenue over quantity sold. And let's look at over here. The total quantity demanded or sold is 4, and the total revenue is 524. So how will we calculate the average revenue? 524 divided by 4, and we will get average revenue of 131. The total quantity demanded over here is 5, and our total revenue is 655. So we will divide 655 divided by 5, and we will get an average revenue of 131. You will also notice over here that the average revenue remains the same, which is 131. So the observation that you can make in this table is that the price is the market price, which is 131, and this price is the same as marginal revenue, and marginal revenue is the same as average revenue. Okay, so for example, if the market price is 131, the marginal revenue will also be 131, and the average revenue will also be 131. And when we talk about the market price, we are actually talking about the demand curve. So this holds true in perfect competition. In perfect competition, the demand is equal to the market price, and market price is equal to marginal revenue, and marginal revenue is equal to the average revenue. So we have shown this by calculating marginal revenue, average revenue, and total revenue. In the next slide, I'm going to provide proof that the market price is actually equal to the average revenue. So I'm going to provide proof for this statement. So recall the formula for average revenue. Average revenue is equal to total revenue divided by quantity sold. So average revenue is the total revenue per unit, or per unit sold. It is the total revenue per unit. So recall the formula for total revenue, which is price into quantity sold. And you can see over here that we can cancel out the quantity sold and we will be left with price. So average revenue is equal to the price. Then I'm also going to provide proof of this statement that price is equal to the marginal revenue. So recall the formula for marginal revenue, which is the change in total revenue divided by the change in quantity sold. And again, recall the formula for total revenue, which is price multiplied by quantity sold divided by quantity sold, change in quantity sold. Now, in the formula for total revenue, so the formula for total revenue is price into quantity sold. But in perfect competition, the price remains the same. Price is fixed. The only quantity sold is changing. Now, this triangle represents the change. So we are going to show this change next to quantity sold because price remains the same. So we cannot show this change next to price. We are going to represent this change next to quantity sold. And we are going to divide this by change in quantity sold. Once again, I will repeat that because in perfect competition, the price is fixed or held constant, only the quantity sold is changing. So this change, the triangle which represents change, this is only going to be shown next to quantity sold. And over here, we have shown this change next to quantity sold and price remains fixed or constant. We are going to cancel this out and we are left with price. So marginal revenue is equal to the price. So we have done two things. Number one, we have calculated average revenue, marginal revenue, and total revenue. And through our calculations, we observe that the price and marginal revenue and average revenue are all the same. And in the next slide, we have provided proof that average revenue is indeed equal to the price and marginal revenue is indeed equal to the price. Now, price is indicated by the demand table or the demand curve. So that is why we say that demand is equal to marginal revenue is equal to average revenue, and average revenue is equal to the price in the market. Our next task is to graph the total revenue and the demand curve. Now, in the previous lecture, we have already made the demand curve for the single seller. You can observe over here that the product price is same throughout. So the seller is going to take the price, is going to use the market price. He cannot charge his own price, and the quantity demanded changes. Now the seller can produce as much as he wants under the price of in the price of $131. So when we graph the demand curve, it is just we're going to put price in the y-axis, quantity in the x-axis, and we know that the seller is going to take the price as single seller is going to take the price as given by the market, and at this price he can sell as much as he wants. In our table we have made it till 10 units, so he can sell as much as he wants, and we can draw a straight horizontal line. So he can produce 1 unit at the price of $131. He can produce 2 units at the price of $131 and so on. The next curve or the next graph is the total revenue graph. Total revenue graph. So this was the demand graph, and the next graph is the total revenue graph. Okay, so if you look at the pattern over here for the total revenue, so I'm going to first erase all of this. So if you look at the pattern over here, when quantity demanded is 0, total revenues is also 0. So we are going to start our graph from the origin. So when quantity demanded is 0, so we are going to put quantity on the x-axis and total revenue on the y-axis. So when quantity demanded is 0, total revenue is also 0. Then we can notice over here that total revenue is increasing. So when quantity demanded is 10, now the total revenue is 1,310. So the overall pattern is that the total revenue is increasing. So this is going to be an upward sloping graph. When quantity demanded increases, total revenue also increases. The next thing that we are going to notice is that total revenue is increasing by a constant amount. For example, when quantity demanded increases by 1, from 1 to 2, total revenue is increasing by also 131. When quantity demanded increases from 2 to 3, total revenue is increasing by 131. So when quantity demanded increases from 3 to 4, you can see that the change in total revenue is 131. So it means that total revenue is increasing by a constant amount. So when you sell an additional unit, you are selling it at a price of 131. So you are actually adding 131 to your total revenue. So when something increases, when a variable increases by a constant amount, the graph is going to be a straight line. So this is going to be a straight line. So this is our total revenue line. And if you want to go deeper into this, we are going to talk about the slope of total revenue. Over here, the slope of total revenue. The formula for slope is change in y over the change in x. Slope is actually the rate of change of y. Change of y. Okay. So over here, y is to change of y. In the y-axis, we have total revenue. And in the x-axis, we have quantity. So over here, the slope of total revenue is actually the change in total revenue divided by the change in quantity. It is telling us the change in total revenue when you change quantity by 1 unit. So recall that this formula is actually marginal revenue. So this is actually what this is telling us what is the change in total revenue when the quantity changes by 1 unit. So the slope of TR is, the slope of total revenue is marginal revenue. And you can observe from the table that the marginal revenue is the same throughout. So that means that the slope of, so if the marginal revenue is same throughout, so it is same, it means that the slope of total revenue is also same. So slope of total revenue is also same, and that is why um, we have got a straight line, because total revenue is increasing by a constant amount. Okay. The last point is that if that recall that we have already proved that demand is equal to marginal revenue, and marginal revenue is equal to the average revenue, which is equal to the market price. And you can see in the table over here that price is 131, marginal revenue is also 131, and average revenue is also 131. So we can all, we will have a same horizontal line for marginal revenue as well. We will have the same horizontal line for average revenue as well, and also for the demand curve.